Right now I'm joined by one of the speakers, Mark Alexander, founder of Property 118 and also founder of the Good Landlords Campaign, which we'll speak about in a moment. But Mark, your first time here at NALS, what's your first impression?
It's really busy. When I first went into the room and I looked around and I was thought, oh, there's not many here, and then I sat right at the front, and then just before lunch I stood up and the place was completely jam-packed, so that's great. It's a great opportunity for networking.
And what do you think of the quality of the other speakers? Because we've got people from government, we've got Lord Best hosting it. I mean, it's really quite a glittering lineup of property people, isn't it?
I've got to say it's the best I've been to, seriously, and that's, I'm not paid to be here or anything like that, but no, it is the best, definitely. And there's a diversity in speakers, so the way that the Lord summed up, I thought his summing up at the end of the presentations was superb. The guy from the RLA presenting the difficulties from landlords' perspectives, and the guy from Right, in fact all of them were absolutely superb, I thought.
Oh, brilliant. So the theme of this year's event is empowering the PRS to be bigger, faster, smarter and safer, and I know that's something that's close to your own heart as a landlord, and one of the reasons that you founded the Good Landlords Campaign.
Yeah, it came about just over a year ago, just as a conversation with people on the Property 118 discussions, and what we realised is that a third of all tenants now have got children, and there's really no way for them to differentiate between a landlord who's going to sell the property or want to move back in after 6 months to a landlord who's in it for the long term, like myself and you and lots of other landlords. There is no badge that those landlords can wear to say we're going to be around, and as long as you pay the rent and look after the property and respect the neighbours, you can stay here for as long as you like. And lots of small amateur landlords say that, of course, to get their tenants and get their properties filled, but don't actually practice that.
Sure.
And we wanted to find a way for landlords to be able to A, have the badge, and B, be able to do that legally.
Because was it inspired anyway by the Safe Agent? Because that's a very simple signpost to client money protection for the consumer, and your badge is also a signpost for the consumer.
It's intended to be simple, absolutely. And I have to say we've launched it a little bit quick, so the badge might well change because that was literally knocked together a couple of weeks ago. The reason that we launched so quick was that Shelter launched their stable rental contracts, which was encouraging landlords to offer 5-year assured short-hold tenancies, and with some bells and whistles, which is great if you've got no mortgage, but of course if you've got a buy-to-let mortgage, your mortgage terms will say that you can only let for 6 or 12 months.
Absolutely.
And we were really angry with this because in the Good Landlords Campaign we were looking for a solution that wouldn't put landlords in jeopardy, and of course theirs would, and it was getting lots and lots of press. So we were commenting on that. But our deed of assurance, which is the way around this problem, was ready to be launched. So we kind of launched a couple of months before we intended to.
Well, I think that's shows how volatile the PRS is, because it's constantly changing, there's constantly new issues, and those people that are able to react quickly and come to events such as this and learn and grow will be the success stories of the future. Absolutely.
It's going to be really interesting to hear from the agents and what they think of the Good Landlords Campaign, because of course a lot of agents' business models are based on churn, but agents have two target markets, if you like, landlords and tenants, whereas as a landlord I only have one, which is tenants. So I want to find long-term tenants, and there's a kind of a mismatch for letting agents to want to find tenants that are going to stay there for 5 years plus. But of course they've got to react to their customers' requirements, and if their customers are tenants that maybe a lot of them have lived in flats and they're now having families, and over 30% of tenants now do have children, that's only going to grow as more and more people sort of mature in that buy-to-let market. It's going to be interesting to see how the letting agents react to that.